Yo guys, welcome to another video. Well, it's a live stream really, but for most of you guys it's going to be a video. We had the X-Max out yesterday, and I had a silly idea of taking the wheels off of the Raminator, which is massive, and put them onto this. And it was completely ridiculous and daft, and it broke it. So in this video we're going to fix it. So we're live and we got the comments up on the screen here. We will be getting a few comments, but also we're going to be doing a bit of wrenching on the X-Max to fix it. I think I've done the gearbox in, but it was clicking with the big tyres on. So it might, it's probably not going to be alright really. I mean, if it was clicking with those big tyres on there, there's probably certainly going to be clicking again in the near future, but I haven't got time for that today. So another thing that we broke was the bumper, but we sent it to the moon as well. Had to be done. So I've done the bumper in. I haven't got a spare one, so I can't fix that. But we did kill the shock shaft, and I've got spares of that, so we can fix that today. And have a little waffle with some of you guys. See what's been going down. Hold on, I've got to turn the camera around that way, because on the iPhone, when you're live streaming on the iPhone, it only picks up from the front microphone. So if I turn the camera around and talk to you now, it's going to be all muffled. Never had that problem with the Samsung. But then the Samsung had crappy video quality. So you can't get anything really that works, can you? Always a problem with something. Get you set up there. Hopefully you can see what's going on. We'll do a bit of work on this. By the way, what shock oil am I supposed to put in there? If you guys can let me know. I think is it 30? I can't remember. What is the stock shock oil for an X-Max? If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. Because I was too lazy to check online. I thought I'll just ask some of you guys and you'll know. Whistling Nipo said 30. RC Tim says 30. Oh, Steve says 35. If there's too many different answers, I will have to get the book out. But I think most people are saying 30 at the moment. Steve did say I think, so he's not sure. I mean, I'm not sure myself. I guessed 30. Get the old glovage on. Bend over. Alright, first things first, we get the old shockage off. Oh dear, someone just broke their chassis in half on their drag slash. Let's get that out of there. So what you guys been up to? Let me know in the comments what's been going on. What's been happening in your life? I think this is an unlimited engineering shock shaft that we got in here. Yeah, it is. This is an unlimited engineering shock shaft. They're stronger than 6S shock shafts, but they're not as strong as stock 8S shock shafts. Because I'll show you when we get it. Well, no, yeah, I can show you actually. So here's a stock shock shaft, and on a 6S one, it used to be like this on both ends, so it always used to break off there. I mean, this is the end where the piston goes on, so it's fine. But on this end, there's a lot of load on there, so when it had the end bit turned down so it's smaller, it kept snapping off. So Unlimited Engineering made some where the threaded part was the same thickness as this part here. And it made it a lot stronger, but I still broke the odd couple here and there, not that many. But now the stock 8S ones, they're the same like that anyway all the way through. So happy with them. So we're going to chuck that in there. We got the spring. We do have the seat cup, but it's broken. It's the only one I got, so I'm going to have to order some more of them. But that'll do for now. We'll still hold on there, won't it? Get that on there. Apex Road in a limo yesterday. Hey, that sounds like fun. Matthew Garrett's painting ceilings. Mohammed says, do I recommend the JLB Cheetah? I do. But I think for the price, you can probably do better. I would probably get, I'd say an Armour Creighton 4S, but you can't get them at the moment. But maybe a, I don't know. I mean, for the price and how fast they go, it's pretty good. But for around about the same money, you could get like a 4S Armour when they come out with them again. And I would say they're a better car. I don't think they're quite as fast, but they're more reliable and it's easier to get parts. Got Dan Bearded RC Adventures in the house. He said smash the bell. There you go, everybody. Smash the bell. No, smash the like button and the bell and the subscribe. Smash it all. All the thumbs down if you suck. You can smash that as well. All helps. Alright, so the proper way to do this, I think, is to take this end off and push all that through. But we're cowboys. So we're going to do the shortcut way. And the shortcut way is to just take the bottom off. I think by just taking the bottom off, that's the minimum amount of work that you got to do. Where is the underwater drone coming out? Don't know. My brother's taking it away. He's got it on his boat. And he's going to have a little play with it. And maybe I'll join him with it there. Ollie went and saw a rally car festival. Sounds like fun, dude. Alright, hold on. Back in a minute. It's going to get a bit messy, so we've got to get a bit of kitchen paper. What's up, Jacob? How you doing? Alright, so that. There, see, because by doing it this way, look, all the shock oil is still in there. We haven't got to drain it out. If you was to take it out on this end, you'd have to drain it all out and put it back in. So, yeah, we don't even need that. So we can put that somewhere to chill. If you're a proper racer, don't do it this way. You're probably cringing. You probably go, no, 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 Kev. You're not supposed to do it like that. But it's only a toy. I'm not in it. So it's fine. Get a little wipage. We'll get I want to get all this dirt in here off of this little cover, because you don't really want to get all that dirt onto your O-rings. Let's give that a little cleanage. Give that a little cleanage in there. Marcos says, have I still got the Size Matters mug? I have. But it's only going to be a short stream, this one, so I didn't bother making myself a cuppa. Arthur says the rival MT does 40 mile an hour. Do you know what? A lot of people really rate that one for being the best cheap basher. I've never had one, but I've seen them go. So maybe I will get one just to test it. I've heard a few people say that it's really good for the price. Adrian said there's nothing worse than a dirty ring. Yeah, it's getting cleaner though, look. The ring is getting cleaned. Woo-hoo. Get all that dirt out of there. Matthew says, how's the Raminator? Haven't used it for a while, but it's good at the moment. I want to get it out again, really. What happens when you're in it, like the monster truck? When you're in it, you've got to be a little bit more careful. Only a little bit, though. You know, if there's people to be hurt, then you've got to take it a bit seriously. If you're not in the damn thing, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, as long as you're having fun with it, who cares? I mean, with RC cars, you get a lot of people that argue sometimes, oh, you're doing it wrong, you're supposed to do it like this. End of the day, there is no right and wrong way to do it. I mean, well, there is. If you're having fun, if you've got a smile on your face, you're doing it right. If you haven't got a smile on your face, you're doing it wrong. And do you know what? That's why I gave up going to the RC car racing. Because, you know, a lot of the people down there, they're not even enjoying it. They get the hump, they're shouting at each other, they're shouting, come on, Marshall, F you, blah, blah, blah. And you're thinking to yourself, you know, and then if they're not winning, they're just going to go home and get the hump and get all their stuff and go home. And it doesn't look like fun. And I don't get why you would do the RC hobby if you're not having fun. There's no other reason for doing it. So that is the way I look at it. If you're having fun, you're doing it right. And nobody can argue. When's the next monster truck video? I'm working on one now, Ollie. I'm working on it at the minute. once I've got enough footage together, because the next video, when the engine comes, is going to be putting the engine in. So there's going to be one more video. So I'm going to try and do as much as I can while I'm waiting for the engine. So I'm just waiting for some steel so I can finish off mounting the seat. I've got to modify the seat. I've got to put the clocks in, but before I can put all that lot in, all the switches and all that, I've got to first have the seat mounted, strap myself in and make sure that I can reach it all. Are you still going to buy land? Yes, I'm looking. I'm looking all the time. The trouble is, the ones that I like are a bit too expensive. I'm not quite ready yet. So I found one that's like perfect, but it's like, I think it's like £5 million, which is like, what's that in dollars? About $7 million. And I'm not ready for that. So I've got to find something a little bit cheaper. But the trouble is, if you find something cheap, either you get a nice house and not much land, or you get a lot of land and like not a very nice house and not really any outbuildings. You know, I want something with the one that I found the other day, a little while ago. That was perfect. It was relatively cheap, 10 acres of land, 8,000 square feet of industrial buildings, a nice house. Perfect. 10 acres of land with the option to buy an extra 15 acres. It would have been absolutely perfect, but it was in a dodgy area. So I had to decline on that one. So I'm going to keep looking. But the thing is, while I'm looking, I'm saving more money. So something's bound to come up at some point. Colby says, how do you get to be so handsome? You can't be talking to me, dude. Must be talking to someone else. Arthur says you'll find property soon. I hope so, dude. I do hope so. I mean, I'll be able to step the old videos up once we've got some property. So the unit's good, you know, the workshop is good and everything, but I haven't got any space outside. And some of the things that I want to do, I can't really do it here. You know, like blowing things up and destroying things and just doing stupid stuff. I can't do it here. So we've got to find somewhere more suitable where I can do this dumb stuff. Because dumb stuff makes good videos. Look at that, it's all moving lovely. That new shaft on there, piston on there. And I've done something wrong. Done something wrong. Can any of you guys see what I've done wrong? Let me know in the comments if you can see what I've done wrong. I used to make this mistake all the time. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do it too. Someone says, has Stent broken the stock shock caps? Not yet. Yes, Stein says the washer. Yes. Normally, you put the washer on the sides of the nut. But in the case of shock pistons, you want the shock on the shaft because it makes the surface area bigger. Because if you imagine when you're jumping, landing a big jump, then I want to get that tightened up a bit. When you're landing a big jump, that's sort of going bang, and it's trying to smash the piston over the shaft. So by having that washer there, it spreads the load out a little bit and makes it better. Once I did put it on that side, done a big jump, and it just smashed the shaft straight through the piston. Dennis says, first time on a live stream. Great stuff. Welcome aboard, dude. Where's the monster truck? Someone says next door. Tomley says I may as well put the whole RC in the bin, so fixing it all the time. Yeah, might as well go in the bin, Tomley. This one's been through the ringer a few times. Right, so next, we're going to put some 35 in here. No, 30, sorry. Some 30 weight shock oil. And if I remember correctly, I used to fill these up just to the bottom of the thread. It's probably not quite enough. Probably should really be a bit more in there. But, you know, as I said, we're not in the damn thing. Doesn't really matter. Who cares if it's not perfect? Is Traxxas oil any good? For bashing, perfect. For racing, I have absolutely no idea. Dan said they take a pounding well. They do take a pounding well. Tom Lee, you need to get yourself an X-Max. I know you don't like Traxxas, but even Traxxas haters still need an X-Max. It's just that RC that every RC basher has to have. Alright, got all that back together again. Tomley's waiting for me to buy him one. You'll have to join the back of the queue, mate. I've got a few people lined up that want me to buy him one. Are you going to get the SCX6? Don't know yet, dude. If enough people ask for it. A few people have asked me to get one, but not that many really. So, don't know. I'm kind of thinking once the scene gets better, I might get one. Clean that off on there. Gizmo in the house. How you doing, mate? What's going on here with the old comments? It's all gone a bit crazy. Are you getting... that's that one again. Are you getting SCX6? Yeah, maybe. JZRC said X-Max is his dream RC. Can you still do a backflip? I can do backflips with RC cars, but I can't personally. Someone said give Tom Lee a spanner. Should we give Tom Lee a spanner? Is he trusted enough? There we go. Tom Lee's got a spanner. And Dan said smash the like if you haven't already. There you go. Should I get X-Max for Christmas? Said Mr. Owens. Yes, you should. Definitely. Right, so look at that, look. We didn't bother getting any bubbles out. Didn't bother doing anything really. Just shoved the oil in there, put it back together. And it feels lovely. Lovely and smooth. Mike Stallone in the house. How you doing, dude? Oh, Tom Lee hasn't got a spanner. Oh, why did that not work? Why did that not work? Maybe I gave someone else a spanner by mistake. Yeah, alright. I think I gave somebody else a spanner by mistake. But there you go, Tom Lee. You got a spanner now. Someone says, I thought replacing shock oil was more difficult. If you do it the proper way, it's a lot more time consuming. On an X-Max, if you can just take the bottom off, pull the whole lot out, and it's quite quick, especially when you're changing the shock shaft. You haven't got to take the oil out. How's the track slash? Yes, I'm going to try and get that video out tomorrow. I've been editing that all day today. We had it out yesterday. I've got some new seat cups ordered for this, but for now we're going to have to put the broken one back on. Ever had any FG cars? I did. I had the original two-wheel drive Beetle. I wish I'd have kept it. I sold it and you can't buy them anymore now. So I will get one again one day. Are you on stock springs? Yes, I am, Phoenix. Stock springs, stock oil. Ultima GTR or Lambo? I don't know what an Ultima GTR is. So I'm gonna go with Lambo. Can you do more Lambo videos? I can, but they've got to be interesting. So, you know, I think that's how car YouTubers, they really struggle, because they buy like an expensive car, and now what? Like, you've got the collection video, and you've got a driving video, and then they put an exhaust on it, and then they wrap it, and do those things really warrant a video? Probably not, but they do it anyway. And the trouble is, everything's expensive, so you can't have a new car for every video. With really RCs, it's quite easy, you know. You can buy a new RC car per video, or like a spare part or a modification. You know, you could maybe do an upgrade and make a video about that and taking it out testing it. So if RC is relatively easy. But yeah, well, I think we're done on this. It still worked. It was clicking. The gears were clicking away. I'll give it a little, get a few comments on there. We'll give it a little bit of a wipage as well. Not that none of you guys really care about me wiping it down, but this is actually a little trick from Mike Craddock. You get some baby wipes, and when your RC's all nasty and dirty like this one, look, you get your baby wipe and give it a little wipage, and it makes all your plastics look nice and new again. Gets dust off, grease off, and it just makes it all look nice. You can use it to go in between your shocks. Look at that, in between the threads. And you can even wrap it around a toothbrush or a little brush to get it into like your little corners, all the nooks and crannies and all that stuff. Someone said Traxxas UDR or Slash. Depends, dude. If you want to bash, definitely the Slash. But the UDR's so cool, you know. It's just realistic, slow motion suspension. I had the UDR out the other day, so there's going to be a video with that soon. Oh no, this time crashed his car. What real car? Ollie says, when's the monster truck engine coming? They're ready to ship it, but I haven't shipped it yet. At the moment, shipping's all a bit crazy. So I'm hoping it won't take too long. They might air freight it, but they're going to see how much it costs first. Air freighting an engine and a big hydraulic jack and a whole load of other parts is probably going to be stupidly expensive. I'm going to give up cleaning this, actually. It's going to take ages, and you guys are going to be bored. Someone says, where's the four-wheel drive rustler been? It's been hiding. Do you have Russian C10 body for the X-Max? No, I haven't. And I haven't actually seen one. I mean, the trouble is with Russian bodies, they don't look that good. And when you're a YouTuber, it's got to look good to get the views, to get the clicks. And I've noticed every time I get the indestructible body out, it just makes it look like a cheap RC, and it doesn't get the views. So it's more worth it to me to put nice bodies on there. But if I'm just bashing, I'll just put if I'm just bashing and not filming, I'll put my indestructible body on there. If I'm filming, I'll put a nice body on. Where's your Slash been? On the shelf, dude. Look at that. Look how nice it comes out. Look, you go over it with a bit of that. It comes out lovely. Makes your RC look all nice and new. Best way to soften up tyres, no WD-40. Said the Furs. Well, I have no idea. You can probably get some compound, like when we used to do touring car racing, you got this tyre compound stuff that you put on there. When will we see the boats? I don't know. We've got to get Claire and Stempy together. And I've got a couple of boats for them from Banggood, courtesy of Banggood. Mickey says, V8 sounds nice on trucks, but V12 sounds better on cars. I just like the V8 sound to me. I mean, V8s and V10s and V12s, they all sound good. But to me, the V8's the ultimate sound. I don't think, not to me, you can't get better than a supercharged V8. That is the ultimate. That is a pinnacle of noises. Actually, you guys let me know, what is the best noise in the world? To me, the best noise is a blown, alcohol-injected V8 engine. So, what do you guys reckon? Tom Lee reckons a 3-cylinder Yaris. No, Tom Lee, that is probably the worst. Nice car, though. It doesn't sound too good, though. Owen says turbo flutter. Someone says V12s are screamy. Yeah, some of those Lambos have put like some titanium exhaust on there, and it makes it sound like a Formula 1 car. And they sound really good. I mean, Supercars of London, he had he had a Murcielago with some fancy exhaust on it, and that sounded amazing. That sounded really good. But I think I prefer the sound of my one, really, the V10. You guys can say anything, by the way. It hasn't got to be engines. Someone said a firework. The sound of a Tesla. There's not much noise there. What is your favourite noise? It doesn't have to be an engine noise. It can be any noise. No being rude. Straight pipe diesel, says Connor. Lexus LFA V10. Yeah, they do sound good. I'll give you that. V10. Adam's tempted with an X-ray. Oh no, have I been tempted with an X-ray? I've had one. I've had an X-ray actually, a touring car. The Cummings, that's deleted. What does that mean, deleted? Is that like no silencer or something? Gizmo says V8, blower. Drag cars, yes. Pretty much a monster truck engine. When she accidentally bites too much of a banana. Luke says Mark II Focus RS. Tommy says you got experience of fighter jet on full reheat to appreciate the sound. I'm sure that'll sound good, but I can't see it sounding as good as a V8. I just can't. To me, a supercharged V8, that's just the pinnacle of noises. Adam says his missus is asleep. Snoring, that's got to be the worst noise. What is your worst noise? You're saying all your favourite noises, and they're all car engines. Someone said Suzuki Hayabusa Turbo. So most of you guys, for nice noises, we're all saying car engines. So what is the worst noise? To me, anything beeping is a really bad noise. Any high-pitched beeping noise, like a smoke alarm or something. Someone says fart noise. Farts. People eating. Alarm in the morning. Yeah, that's not the best noise, is it? Chris says his wife talking. Brian says his girlfriend. Babies. Someone says, oh, baby noise is pretty awful, yeah. Yeah, baby crying, you can't get much worse than that. That is like one of the worst. Screaming kids, says Adam. Yeah, screaming kids is awful. That is so bad. And what can you do? What can you do when a kid's screaming? It's not like you can switch it off, is it? You just got to deal with it, haven't you? A lot of people saying babies crying. Dogs fighting, someone says. That's more of a scary noise, isn't it? Connor says diff grinding. Put a sock in it, says Phoenix. I wish you could put a sock in a baby to shut them up, but yeah, they're probably not going to live very long if you do that. If babies had an off switch, they would be fine, but they haven't. Nails on a chalkboard, someone says. Someone said a wet fart. Someone said a snake hissing. Someone says when your wife says we need to talk. Look at that. X-Max is looking newer by the second. I've only used one baby wipe so far. Look at that, look. I'll flip you around so you can see what's happening close up. Someone says broken bone. Oh yeah, that's a nasty noise, isn't it? Yeah, so look at all that there, look. All that nastiness there. We just get a baby wipe. This one's old now. I've done the whole X-Max with it. Give it a little wipe. Just look at that. It just looks brand new. It's got to be the easiest. Well, I don't know. There must be better ways of cleaning cars. But if you just want to quickly go over it quickly, while you're chatting to your buddies online, then perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at all that there. Nasty. Lovely. Tommy says one baby wipe challenge is something you should never try with a kid. Oh, that sounds disgusting. I hope I never have to try that, ever. Do you know what? I don't think I could wipe an arse. I don't think I could do it. I don't think it would be possible for me to do that at all. I think I would just throw up, like, instantly. Someone says you're going to do an X-Max giveaway. No. I did do giveaways a little bit before, in the early days of this channel. And I ended up getting scammed and stuff, and people were accusing me of rigging the results and stuff. So it wasn't worth the hassle. So I would love to give back, but not when it's hassle when you get scammed. So now I'll just give RCs to friends and stuff now. Passive says different with your own child. I haven't got a child, so but even if I did, I don't think I could do it. I can't do anything bodily fluids. Ugh, no, get it away from me. So what is your worst job on an RC car? For me, it's shocks, I think, and diffs. Diffs are worse. Having to do anything on a diff. Get that on me like that. Bit more wipage there. We'll get a new one out now. I think we depleted that one. Have you ever been fishing? No, I'm not into that sort of stuff. I don't personally find it interesting, and I feel sorry for fish, so I couldn't do it anyway. When will the XO1 go to the moon? I don't know, but it will have to soon. You guys keep bugging me, so... And I said I'll do it when we get 1 million subs. We got 1 million subs a little while ago now, so... we have to do it soon. Spy says, do you want a kid? No, not me. I don't want anything that you can't turn off. If you can't turn it off, I'm not interested. Yeah, I think with me, I struggle with commitments. I don't want to commit to something that you can't get out of. You know, if you have a kid and the kid turns out to be a douchebag, you can't just stuff, don't you? I mean, it could ruin your life. You know, just imagine you have a kid and it turns into like a heroin addict, and it's bringing all violence home and police and all that stuff and stealing stuff. I mean, what would you do if you had a kid like that? I mean, that must just be hell. And to me, I couldn't take that gamble. It could just completely ruin your life. But I know a lot of people, they have great families and it's brilliant, it's happy days. But for me personally, I don't think I'm up for taking the risk. What about a girlfriend? Well, the thing is with a girlfriend, you can get rid of a girlfriend, can't you? If it doesn't work out, you can be like, see you later. But you can't really do that when you've got a kid. You're kind of lumbered. Tyre gluing, someone says, yeah, that's quite an awful job. And also, I don't think I'd be a very good dad. You know, I'd always be working, always playing with monster trucks, always making videos or eBaying or something. And I'll just be that dad that's never around. So, you know, I think if you bring a kid into the world, you've got a duty to do your best by it. So, all your hobbies and everything will probably have to take a bit of a backstage. Russell Clark says gas turbine RC car. Do you know what? I was actually thinking of putting a turbine onto something and making a video, but I'm not gonna say my plans, because every time I do, everyone keeps bugging me saying, "Oh, you promised you're gonna do this. You promised you're gonna do that." So I'll probably be better off not really say the plans, otherwise I'll get accused of making stuff up again. I'm getting bored of cleaning now, but I'm having fun chatting with you guys. Kev, do you want the procedure of having a kid? The procedure's alright, but it's all the problem afterwards, isn't it? King says his son's the reason he got into RC. Well, that's epic. That is epic, dude. You know, I'm not a normal person. You know, most people, they want kids, but I'm different. I'm different to normal people. So, you know, I've got different ambitions and different goals in life, and I'm just different. So, you know, a lot of the time when I say stuff, people can't relate to it. But at the end of the day, you've got to do what makes you happy. You'd make a great dad, Kev. A lot of people say I'd make a great dad, but I don't know how I'd have the time to do it when I've still got so many goals to reach and dreams to go after and stuff to do. I don't know how. I don't think it would be fair for me to be a dad and not have all the time to give to the kid. I don't think it'd be fair. What upgrade on the X-Max? Well, this X-Max got RPM rear hubs. I got Sen hinge pins in there. I'd say essential upgrades for an X-Max. Definitely the Sen hinge pin mod. RPM do some pins as well, but I don't think they were strong because I've heard people say they've bent them. There are some on eBay that are cheaper, and Vinny's bought some, and I think they're, well, I don't know yet, I haven't tested them yet. Definitely get the RPM rear hub carriers. I've got these little aluminium collars on here. I've forgotten who made these. It's the same company that made the big engine mount that I gave to Martin. But I forgot the company that makes them, but they're good. It just stops these out cups snapping. But they're not essential. They don't snap that often anyway, so not essential, but it's a nice mod. I've got Trill diff covers on there, but only because I sent them to me for review. I'm more of a fan of leaving stuff lightweight. But they're on there at the moment, but they're not essential. They're nice, but they're not essential, and you do add weight, so it might start stressing other things. I've got the Trill plate up here, the same with that. It's a nice mod, but it does add a little bit of weight, and you've got to always be careful when you add weight and take flex away. But it's been cool so far. The other mod, the main mod you have to do is steel spur gear and steel pinion. That is one mod that I would say is absolutely essential. The stock gears that come with this thing, have I got one kicking around? These stock ones, they're made out of this powder metal stuff, pot metal, I call it monkey metal. And they just explode. Tomley says he loves a bit of Trill. Yeah, I saw your video with you doing a Trill video. Trill sent me a nice box as well, look. So we're going to end up doing the same video. I've got all these SCX 24 parts in here, look, that I've got to put on. So that reminds me, actually, I better get on the case for that video. Oh, I forgot about that as well. Custom RC Upgrade sent me this heavy-duty top bar. It's the bar that goes on top of the armours in the middle there. Super heavy-duty one. This one's for the Mojave. So I'm going to have to fit that at some point. Do you know what? I don't really like the Mojave, really. So I was thinking of... I've got an old Creighton in here, look. This is an old Creighton 6S. It's all in bits. I'm thinking turning that into long wheelbase Creighton. Because I think it would get more use. Because the Mojave's cool... But if I'm going to bash, I would rather pick this up, the Creighton. And if I want something to look more realistic, I'd rather use that. Or my favourite one is that one there, the UDR. I mean, it's not the most durable one. You're not really supposed to bash it. It even says in the instructions, don't bash it. But with a few little upgrades, like these RPM lower arms and stuff, you can mildly bash them. But I just like the way it moves, the way it looks. It looks so realistic. The way it handles, the way you can drift it. I just love it. That is one of my favourite RC cars. That is as well, actually, the Infraction, which Vinny has still got because he's putting in some thicker diff fluid. Tommy just started his Trill SCX 24. No, you're all right on that one, Tommy. You'll get your video out before me. I haven't even started filming it. And once I've started filming it, it's probably going to take me another couple of weeks to edit it. So I'm always way behind when it comes to getting new stuff out. Everyone always gets their videos out way before me. I'll be the one that gets accused of copying. Don't worry about that. Any lossy DBXL's videos in the making? Unplanned, dude. I do want to gear it up though, make it faster. So that could be possibly a video. Maybe do some other mods on there. What's your smallest RC car? is that tiny little nipper, whatever that was called. Banggood Special, little rally car. I'm just wiping stuff for the hell of it now, just while I'm chatting with you lot. What's your favourite RC? X-Max. X-Max is my favourite RC. My favourite all round. The Raminator is the most intense. The amount of fun I get with that is like off the scale. That is like the pinnacle of RC funness. But it is such a pain in the butt. It's big, it's heavy, you can't even pick it up. When I break it, I've got to get all the parts from the States every time. And they use UPS, and UPS is an absolute pain in the butt. I hate UPS. They're awful. Well, I don't want to rant to you lot about why I hate UPS. But they're such an awful company to deal with. They are to me anyway. I know some people love them, but to me they're just awful. So, and then when you're working on it, everything's heavy and, yeah. Tommy says UPS always reschedules. The problem is with me, they send me an invoice and they say you've got customs to pay. So I get an email, it says you've got to pay customs. And it says log in. So I try to log in on the link they give me and it says you've got to make an account. So then I make an account and I never get an email link. So it's like loads of messing around and messing around and messing around. Finally get an email link. And then it won't let me log in. And then there's more messing around and more messing around. Finally I can get in, so I'm logged in now. I go to the invoice section and there's no invoices, so I can't pay. So I'm looking around this website, cannot find how to pay this invoice, and it's just impossible. And then like trying to get hold of someone's impossible. And then like the postman turns up and he goes, "Oh, actually, no, I can't let you have it." So he shows me the box. He's got my box full of Raminator parts. I'm like, "Yes, I can fix the Raminator." And he's like, "Oh, actually, you haven't paid for them. You can't have them." And then he goes again. I was like, "For God's sake." And it happens every single time. It's awful. So last time, I did actually manage to ring them up and get hold of them and pay over the phone. So I've done that. I paid over the phone. So postman then turned up about a week late. Postman turns up. "Oh, got a parcel for you." And then he's like, "Oh, actually, you haven't paid." I was like, "Dude, I have paid. I've just paid today." And he's like, "Well, it's not on my system. You haven't paid." I was like, "I have paid." I said, "Come in my unit." I said, "Come in." So he came into my unit. I showed him my bank statement on the computer. I showed him on my PC. I showed him, "Look, I've paid. There you go. UPS, I've paid." And he's like, And it was the same amount. It was the exact amount that he said I had to pay. And you could see on my computer that I'd paid it. And he's like, "Well, it still says on here that you haven't paid, so I can't let you have it." Oh, man. Then it took like more days and more days. And by the time it got through the system, and then it was like literally 2 weeks late. Awful. Absolutely awful. So, you know, all that coupled together just makes the Raminator not that user-friendly. I mean, I love it. It's the most fun. But it is a bit of a pain in the butt. Then you've got to, you know, try to lift it into the car on my own is almost impossible. Russell says, "Hi, mate, what are you moaning about now?" "No, I'm moaning about UPS. I wasn't going to moan about them, but people kept asking me what the problem is with them, so I thought I might as well tell them. But I always try and not use them if I can, use somebody else. Right, you guys keep repeating the same comments over and over and over and over. Can you not, please? That is why we have a 60-second limit, so people don't keep copying the same question over and over. So there's a lot of people asking questions and stuff, and I just cannot answer them all. Please don't copy and paste the same thing in over and over and over. If you want your question answering, leave it as short as possible, and I'll get the best chance to read it out. Is Castle Sidewinder 4 any good? I don't know. I mean, I haven't had one, I don't think. I mean, the stuff with Castle, they've normally got more power than everything else, but sometimes they're not reliable. Pocket says Kev's stories are the best. Thanks, dude. I've got loads of stories. I'll tell you one funny story with a debt collection agency. I used to be in a lot of debt. Back in the day when I had a job, I quit my job like 13 years ago now. So I've not had a job for many years. But when I did have a job, I had loads of loans. I built this stupidly powerful, turbo-powered Mini, all on bank loans. I spent like £34,000, which is probably about $45,000. I was only a youngster back then, so that's a lot of money. And I blew it all on a Mini, all bank loans. And I had payment protection. Just in case, like, you know, the company goes bankrupt, or if you get ill and you can't afford to make the payment protection is supposed to pay. So anyway, I'm working at this company, and no one got paid one day. So the boss called us all up into the office, and he said, right, company's gone down the pan. We got no money to pay anybody. So we can't pay you. But you have to keep working here. You have to keep staying here, because hopefully we're going to find a buyer. And then once we find a buyer, you'll get paid. And I was like, well, what happens if there's no buyer? Craig Stone says, can you play piano? We'll get to that in a minute, Craig. So I says, what happens if you don't find a buyer? And they said, well, if you don't find a buyer, the company will go down the pan and you'll get made redundant and you won't get paid. So I was like, great. So I thought, oh, I've got payment protection on the loan, so that's fine. So I rang up the bank. I rang them up and I said to them what happened, and they said, sorry, it doesn't cover you. It only covers you if you get made redundant or if you're ill. It doesn't cover you if the company doesn't pay you. I thought, oh, well, that's good. So I went back to work. I said, dude, I was like, you got to pay me or you got to make me redundant, because I've got loans to pay, and I've got loans to pay, and the protection only covers me if you make me redundant. Boss goes, no, sorry, we need you here. We need you here to help pull the company through. If you want to leave, you can leave, but then it will just be on the books that you walked out. So that was no good, because, you know, then the payment protection definitely won't cover me if it's on the books that I've walked out. So the banks gave me a credit card and said I can pay my loan back with a credit card. I'll pay that off, so I was getting into loads more debt. They kept giving me more credit card limit and overdrafts. And I kept getting more and more into debt. It was bad. I was so much debt. It was crazy. And in the end, I didn't even have enough money anymore to put into the car to go to work. So I said, right, stuff this, forget this. I was going to walk out. So I walked out of there. I found another job, and that is where I met Craig. Craig with a Mark 1 Escort. And that job, there wasn't as much overtime, and I couldn't make enough money to pay the loans. So slowly, I was getting more and more into debt. And in the end, I couldn't afford to put fuel in my car anymore. So I thought, you know what, stuff this. So I went into the office. I said to the boss, oh, Steve Manson. Craig will know who Steve Manson is. I said, I'm off, I'm going, I'm leaving. He's like, oh, when are you going? I'm like, now, I've had enough, mate. I've got to go, I'm done. And that was it. I didn't pay any more loans. I was done. I was like, I had a Sierra Cosworth, 3-door Cosworth. I sold that to pay the loans back. I sold the Mini so I can try and pay the loans back. So everything that I had was gone. And I still owed like thousands and thousands. I still owed. I can't remember exactly how much. Probably 20 grand. I still owed after all that. So I was like, stuff you. I've got nothing left. Got nothing else to lose. Stuff you. I'm not going to pay. So anyway, they kept selling the debt to all these different debt collection agencies. And one of them, and I don't know what it is like in other parts of the world, but in the UK, I think they can only ring you like twice a week or something. And if they do it any more than that, it's deemed harassment. So this company, they kept ringing me like about 3 or 4 times a day. When are you going to pay your loan back? When are you going to pay your loan back? So I'm not. So we've been through this. I've got payment protection. Go on now. I've lost everything that I've taken the loan out for and worked for. Everything's gone. I was like, I haven't got any money. I'm completely broke. I can't pay it, and I'm not going to pay it. So they kept passing it around to different debt collection agencies, and this one kept ringing me up every day. Every single day they were ringing me up. 3 or 4 times. So in the end, I got fed up with it. I said, so I got in front of my piano. I rang up the phone number for this debt collection agency on a withheld number, so they didn't know it was for me. So I rang them up. The minute they picked up the phone, I was playing the piano. So I'd hang up. And I was doing that all day. I was doing it for hours and hours and hours. I was doing that for... And because I was withholding the number, they didn't know who was calling them. And they have to pick up the phone because it might be someone ringing up to make a payment. So they've got to pick up the phone. And there must have been about 3 or 4 people in the call centre, because like when they pick up, it's always the same voices answering. And one woman, she'd be like, oh, not you again. And someone else would be like, oh, hang up. But this one dude, he was getting wild. He was getting so mad. He was going, F you, I can't swear on here. But he called me all the words under the sun. He was going mad. It sounded like he was going to completely lose the plot. He was just mad. He was like hitting stuff on his desk. You could hear stuff getting smashed up in the background. You could hear all this stuff going on. He was fuming. And that was like an hour in. But I was sitting there for hours. I was doing it all day. This poor bloke, and eventually I done it again. I rang him up. I said, right. I said, my name's Kevin Talbot. I told him all my details. I told him all the bank details. I told him who I was. I identified myself so I knew who they were talking to. I said, I'm the dude. He's playing the piano. Oh, he's going F you. I said, right. I said, you ring me one more time. One more phone call. I will not stop. I've got no job. I've got nothing to lose. You can send the bailiffs over. I've got nothing. Everything's gone. I've got nothing to lose. I've got nothing else to do. I can sit here all day long playing the piano at you. So you call me one more time, one more letter, one more phone call, one more anything. I'll sit here and not stop. And that was the end of it. They never ever came around ever again. That was it. And then the debt went to a different debt collection agency. And they kept ringing me up. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm really religious, and I've had this little voice in my head, and it sounded like it must have been God, and God says, under no circumstance must I pay off this loan. And he was going, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? I was like, well, God's the boss. God's above you, and if God says I can't pay, can I? So I can't pay. I'm sorry, can't pay. I've been told I can't pay. So he hung up, and that was it. He never called me again. And then there was another one, Barclays. That was another bloody bank. They kept sending me these debt collection letters and all this stuff. And the thing was, Barclays, I had the biggest loan with Barclays actually. And the company that I first worked for when they went bankrupt was owned by Barclays. So Barclays wasn't paying me and then coming after me for not paying them. So I got to a point where I got quite deep into how money works and everything. And fractional reserve banking and fiat money and M1 and M2 and M3 money supplies and all this stuff. And I'm not going to share it all with you here, but pretty much money's fake. Your pound coins, your dollars and all that. It's just printed on demand. It actually hasn't got any really proper value to it. It's just nothing. It's a piece of paper or a digit. And when the bank lends you money, they don't actually lend you anything at all. They don't take money from some pot and give it to you. They just print it or digitally enter it into your account. And then when you pay it back, it gets erased again, minus the interest, which you still have to come up from somewhere. And the only way that interest money can come into existence is by someone else borrowing it. So the whole system is rigged to make people go bankrupt. So seeing that money that they lend you is fake money, not actually real money. Real money is gold and silver. Like, if you look at the definition of money, it's something of a store of value, which fiat money isn't. It's just a digit. It goes down in value. So if they lend you something that's not real, legally, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just telling you my story. So don't copy and say Kev said. In my mind, because they didn't lend me legal money, I can just pay them back with money that's not legal. So I got the exact amount. Well, I paid them a bit too much, actually. I got the Monopoly set out, and I sent Barclays Monopoly money. And it was a little bit over. I paid them a little bit too much. And you guys are not going to believe me, so there's probably no point me even saying it. But what happened a couple of months later, they accepted the money and they sent me back a refund of how much I overpaid the loan by. It's mad. And that was it. I never heard from them ever again. It was done. It was finished. Game over. Hardcore says the only real money is coins. Paper's just a promise note. Well, even the coins, Hardcore, are not real money. They used to be when they were gold and silver, but now the metal, what the coin's made of, is worth less than what the actual value of the coin is. So it's still fake. I mean, the only real money you can get, you can get gold coins that are like treasury coins that are made out of solid gold, and the actual value of the material is worth more than what the actual pound is, or whatever it is. All right, enough waffling. Toby says he believes me. Oh, and then to finish off that story, there was the thing going around with the payment protection swindle here in the UK. So I got this cover letter that says how you just put your name in there and send it off to the bank. And I got all my payment protection money back as well on top of it. Someone says, I've seen me at Redfins. Way, you alright, dude? Curtis says, true facts. Made of nickel, and that's rubbish, yeah. Fiat money. I mean, if you lot have got time on your hands, look into the... if any of you guys are interested, there's a book called Modern Money Mechanics. It's actually written by the Federal Reserve. And it's the handbook that the banks have to operate by. And people say, oh, I'm a tinfoil hat person, I'm a conspiracy person. But this is actually the handbook that the banks have to operate by, which is issued by the Federal Reserve. And it's pretty much the same rules here in the UK, Bank of England and stuff, and most other countries. It's all the same. And it's all in there. It's all in there about M1, M2, M3 money supply, all that stuff. It's on about the fractional reserve banking. It's on about how they just sort of make money from nothing and lend it out. It's all in there. So it's not a conspiracy. If you can be bothered to read it, it's all in there. Oh, you're too shy to say hello. Oh, don't be too shy, dude. Come over and say hello. Buy a SCX6 with Monopoly money. I don't think anybody would accept Monopoly money. You know what? The only value that fiat money has is just that, you know, if I give you a tenner, you know that you can give that tenner to someone else. Because, you know, the only value is that you know you can move it on. But the minute you know that you can't move it on anymore, the value's gone. So, you know, with Monopoly money, if I could go to a shop and buy an X-Max with Monopoly money, they knew they could move that on to someone else and buy more X-Maxes, it would work. But obviously it doesn't. Well, no, real money is gold and silver. JZRC says his wife worked in a bank. This is true. Yeah, a lot of people start making stuff up. You know, I even had this conversation with an accountant before, and he said, it's not true. And I was like, well, have a look in the... I said to him, have a look into fractional reserve banking. He didn't know what I was talking about. And there's loads of videos on YouTube. Type in fiat money and fractional reserve banking, and you'll see what a scam this whole system is. It's just rigged to rip us off. It's rigged so that the bank end up with everybody's property and end up with everything. Do you keep your money in the bank? I do, but I try to not really. I try to invest in things that are not money. But at the moment I do, because I'm looking for property. And, you know, when I buy property, I've got to pay for it with money. But, you know, once I've got the house, I don't really want any money in the bank, really. And the same for cash. Cash under your bed is no good, because it all devalues just the same. You know, if you look back just 20 years ago, what $100 would buy you and what it buys you today, it's less and less and less. More real videos planned, says T-Trick. No, not at the moment, dude. On-road or off-road? I like both, dude. I like both. Thoughts on crypto? Crypto, I see it as gambling. I mean, the concept of crypto is good. I like the idea that it takes the power away from the bank and it gives the power to the people. But there's so many coins, and anybody can make a new coin and chuck it out there. And which one's going to stick, you know? It might be worth, like Bitcoin might be worth 50 grand today. It might be worth 20 grand tomorrow. It's too volatile, and it might be worth zero in years to come. It might be worth millions. You just don't know. So to me, crypto is just gambling to me. You have to create an off-road Lamborghini. No, I don't know about that, dude. Don't lose your e-wallet. Yes, hardcore. I bought one Bitcoin when it was £60, about $100. And now that, well, I think it got a peak of £50,000, which is, what is it, about $60,000, $70,000? I think at the moment it's about £40,000. And I've lost the password, so I can't cash it in. I've lost the password. Beers for building an off-road Lambo. Yeah, I heard about that. Would you invest in stocks? Yes, I would. And I have, and I do. Offshore bank. There's there's something. I hope I'm not boring you lot with banking stuff, because most of you probably don't care. But in 2008 they did something called a bail-in. Well, they've done a bailout actually. 2008, when the big crash was around the world, in the UK they did a bailout where some of the banks, like the Royal Bank of Scotland and Northern Rock, they failed, and people would have lost their money. So the government bailed them out with taxpayers' money, and they changed the law after that, so that now instead of doing a bail-in, they do a bailout. No, sorry, the other way around. Instead of doing a bailout, they do a bail-in, and they did it in Greece and Cyprus, I believe. Is what they do. They take depositors' money. So I think anyone that had over 100 grand, they took it away, and they passed a law in 2009 here in the UK and in most other places in the world, including the United States and most European places. They passed the same laws that banks can now do a bail-in. So the government won't bail a bank out anymore now. They're going to do a bail-in. So if you've got money in the bank, legally, the bank can take it. And only about 3 or 4 months ago, the Bank of England actually sent a memo around to all the high street banks of how to execute a bail-in. So if you've got money in the banks can take it. And the laws have been passed. They can legally do it. And, now all this furlough stuff going on and people not paying their mortgages and stuff. I mean, it's hitting the fan, guys. And money in the bank, I wouldn't say safe at all. Buy gold, Kev. Gold's good to buy, but the trouble is if you have to keep it somewhere, so you've got to pay some vault to keep it in there, and you don't really know for sure if it's actually in there, do you? And if you keep it for yourself, then obviously if you get broken into, it's gonna be gone. So I do like the idea of gold, but I don't like the idea of having to store it. I prefer land, because no one can steal land. Someone says about NFTs. That's just another form of gambling as well, isn't it? There's no real value there, really. All money's in armours and customs RC bank account, yeah. Imagine putting a Lamborghini shell on the monster truck. Someone's done that. There is a Lambo, I forgot what country. He come over to UK, actually, did the UK Nationals. It's called, I think it's just called Lambo. Invest in property. Property is good. Property is good, but at the moment, I think it's a bubble going on, so who knows? Tell another story, Kev. I'm done now with stories. I'm going to get a few comments, and then I'm done. I'm going to go home. Yeah, NFTs, just digital pictures. Anyone can print them. Worthless. It's just gambling. Gambling at the end of the day. There's a lot of people make a lot of money. A lot of people lose a lot of money. You're just gambling. Stocks. If you're day trading, you're gambling. I think you're probably better off, if you're investing, is to invest for long term. Not day trading, because if that's what I think what Warren Buffett said. He said if you've got everyone in the room all trading stocks, and you've got the broker, every trade the broker takes a cut. Eventually, everybody's gonna have zero money, and the broker's gonna have all of it, which is probably why it's called a broker, because everybody's broke at the end. So I think stocks is good to buy good stocks that are not likely to go bust, and buy long-term ones, for like, I don't know, I don't want to give any advice. I'm not an expert myself, really. But, you want to invest in something that's still likely to be there with lockdowns and future. You want stuff that's going to be sort of future-proof. McDonald's is probably a good one. Coca-Cola. Anything that Warren Buffett basically invests in is going to be a good one, more than likely. Everybody keeps asking about the SCX6. I might have to get one. I don't really want one. Spartan says be the broker. Yeah, the broker never loses. Monster truck engine ETA. I don't know, dude. I mean, it's ready to ship, but shipping's long in the US at the moment. Toilet paper stock. Yeah, that probably could be a good one. Brokers never go broke now, but everybody else does. What colour is the monster truck going to be? It's going to be red. Steam Train Tony in the house. Hello, dude. Got Emily in the house. How you doing, Emily? Do you know what? I don't notice you that often now. As you change your thumbnail, I noticed it more when it's just a big E letter coming up. How long do you think until the monster truck is finished? Once the engine's here and I've got all the parts, I don't reckon that long. Or maybe a couple of months. But these things always take longer, so I don't really want to say, But I'm hoping to get it finished and running this year. Or it's never going to be finished. But I'm hoping to get it driving this year. But we'll see. Stuff always takes longer. Always takes longer. Nothing is real, says R.C. Smith. We might be living in a simulation like Elon Musk reckons, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Make a video of how to tune two-stroke correctly. I don't know how to tune them. It'll just be a whole video of blown up engines. Invest in an electric company or water company or the tyre industry. Yeah, that's probably a good one. What kind of device are you filming on? I'm filming on my iPhone 12. And that's what I make most of my videos on, actually. iPhone 12 and GoPro Hero 7. And sometimes I use a 360 camera. I use the Insta 360. Where will you take the monster truck when it's done? I want to test it on probably local farms and stuff. I want to do a show at Santa Pod. Do a few UK shows. I want to do some European shows. But ultimately, I want to take it to America and do some Monster Jam. Someone said iPhone 13 Pro. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look enough of an upgrade to the 12 to be worth it, in my opinion. So I'm looking to see what the new Android is going to be like. I prefer Android, really. But the iPhone had a better camera this time round. That's why I went for the iPhone. Corby likes the 360 videos. Yeah, you get some cool shots with them. It'll be snowing when you guys have got it done. Yeah, maybe. Take it out in the snow and do some donuts. Are you thinking of upgrading the Lambo? Oh, maybe, Andy. Supercharger or turbo, not fully sure yet, but not at the moment. I'm going to finish the monster truck first. Yeah, but it's quite expensive doing the turbo and superchargers on the Lambo, so we'll see. Stein says, didn't expect you to still be live. I wasn't planning on doing a long live, but you guys kept asking me these questions that took hours to answer, like fractional reserve banking. Mario says, don't mess with the Lambo. I want another Cosworth, man. There's a lovely Cosworth on eBay. Oh, Craig, have you seen that Cosy on eBay? I mean, if I had somewhere to keep it, I'd buy it. It's got a brand new shell. The thing's been restored. It's mint. Absolutely mint. And it's the cheapest 3-door on there. And I think it's 47 grand, which is still a lot, but I think it's only going to go up in value. How much is a lorry for the monster truck? Someone says, a cheap one will do. Probably 10 grand for lorry and trailer, probably. Should cover it, hopefully. Craig says, yes, yes, yes. I mean, if I had somewhere to keep it, I'd get it. But I've got no space here in the shop. I'm out of space. I can't leave it out on the street. A car like that, it deserves to be in a proper garage. So, once we get some land, if I get some land and I've got a nice big barn, certainly we're going to be getting cars like that. But you've got to keep it somewhere. Craig says, get it now. It's only going up. Oh, Craig, I want to get it now, but I've got to put it somewhere. I mean, I'm inquiring about renting a container temporarily just to put some more stuff in. So if I can get hold of a container around the corner, I know they've got a big waiting list on at the minute. Maybe I'll get it. Sell Lambo. I don't want to sell the Lambo. Don't want to sell it. I mean, I only planned on having it for a little while, but nah, it's worth more to me to keep it. A funny story actually with the Lambo. I mean, I bought it because Stempy goes, come on, let's go London and have a look at some supercars. I was never a supercar fan at all. And Stempy goes, come on, let's go London and have a look at some supercars. So I sat in the Lambo, same as my one. And I was like, yeah, I want one. So I bought one. And I thought, I'll just keep it for a little while, see how it goes. But the funny thing is, you guys probably heard about my eBay course. You're probably fed up with hearing about it. And when the only car that I had was the Rover, People used to say, oh, Kev doesn't make any money on eBay, he's lying, he wouldn't be driving around in that old Rover if he was making money on eBay. The minute I got that Lambo, the eBay courses just went through the roof. And a lot of people that sell courses, they sell it with a Lambo. And I didn't buy it because of that, because I thought it's just I didn't even think of it for that. But somehow that's how I just sold loads more courses. So the amount of courses that are selling compared to what the car's worth is way more. So there's no point selling it. What's the point in selling it? What colour is the cosy you're looking at? It is a moonstone blue one. Moral of the story is don't take stem car shopping. No, I mean, Adam, yeah, I agree. I mean, a Lambo is a stupid car to buy. It's just pointless. But if it makes you more money owning it versus selling it, you may as well keep it. Yeah, let's get real. Let's get real. Cosy over Mini. I'd go for Cosy, yeah. No, keep me car. No, I'm keeping it, Aaron. I'm not selling it. I've got no plans of selling it. I mean, I've devalued it now anyway because I didn't bother servicing it. So I'm not planning on selling it. Imagine Stempy driving the Lambo. If he insured it, he could drive it. How many subscribers let Stemp send a Lamborghini? If we can get 10 million subscribers this year, then Stempy can send the Lambo to the moon. Yeah, Craig Stone says best colour, as you know. Yeah, I know. I had a Moonstone Sierra 3-door Cosworth before back in the day. I wish I'd have kept it. I sold it for $7,000 and now they're worth 40, 50, 60, 70 grand. I mean, I don't know what mine would have been worth. I mean, mine wasn't the best example. I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't a show car. I mean, it was a nice, usable car. I'd guess if I sold it today, probably get 35 grand for it, probably. So I should have kept it. But, you know, I was in debt. I was scared of the banks coming after me, so I sold it and tried to pay some loan off. But doing a stemp and not servicing. I've not done many miles since the last service. And you've got to service it every 10,000 miles or every year, whatever comes sooner. I've done so few miles with it in the last year that I just couldn't warrant new plugs and new oil and all this stuff. And it's not really been used that much. Someone says Series 1 RS Turbo. Nice car, but I don't like front-wheel drive. I hate front-wheel drive cars. You know, don't get me wrong. As a daily driver, front-wheel drive's fine. But as a performance car, I hate them. I hate the way they handle. The physics are completely wrong. I just do not like front-wheel drive cars. So, you know, I love Minis, but I just hate the fact that they're front-wheel drive. So I would get another Mini, but I'd make it rear-wheel drive. Put Cosy running gear in there. When am I going to build the limiters that I keep banging on about? Yeah, I'm going to get on that soon. R34 or R35, I don't know, Ben. I'm not really into Japanese cars. War Dog says, get the Cosy, that will be content. Yeah, I mean, maybe it would be more better off getting like a smashed up Cosy or something and getting a new shell and doing videos of restoring it and putting like a sick engine in it and just making it mad. You know, buying it already done. It's, you know, if I get a car, I've got to kind of think of it as an investment. You know, I think the car's got to go up in value and it's got to make money for the business. So if I got an old Sierra Cosworth and restored it on camera and modified it on camera, and the value of the car's going to go up over time, it's sort of worth doing. But if you buy one already done, it's still worth doing, but not as worth doing, if you get me. Matthew Sim in the house. I'm doing good. How are you, mate? G'day, mate. Craig says, now we're talking. Oh, Craig, mate, I want to do so many more old projects with old Fords and stuff. You know, I'd love a Mark 1 and Mark 2 Escort, Cossies. You know, I love all those motors. I'd love to do more, but we need somewhere to put them. I know you said about a mezzanine, but shops is too small, man. I mean, is there any point putting loads of money into this unit and I'm only going to move out anyway? Probably not. Is eBay still worth doing or is flooding the market? Absolutely, eBay's worth doing. I had a dude on my course a few months ago who was making 20 grand a week. So, you know, most people don't make that. I never even made 20 grand a week. You know, I was doing over 100 grand a year at my peak on eBay. But I didn't spend that long on it. I probably spent 2, 3, 4 hours a day and spent the rest of the time doing YouTube. If you've done eBay full time, you can make millions. And especially now with all the lockdown that happened and a lot of high street shops gone out of business, you know, that's where the money's at now, online, eBay, Amazon, all that stuff. Better time now than ever to set up your own business, especially with something that you can do from home that's lockdown proof. Perfect. Will you base yourself at your new home? Yes, that's the plan. I want to have house, workshop, units, and land all on the same plot of land. Because, you know, I'm guessing there's going to be more lockdowns. And I want to have it all on the same plot, everything. So, you know, they can lock down as much as they want. And I've got everything on site. How does eBay work? Well, the basic concept is you buy cheap and you sell high. And I've had a lot of people say, your eBay course, you're just ripping people off. Everyone knows you just buy low and you sell high. Yes, that is the basic principle, but you've got to know how to sell. If you don't know how to sell, what's going to happen is you're going to buy low and you're going to sell even lower. That's what happens if you don't know what you're doing. And it sounds easy, but you try. You know, if you don't know what you're doing on eBay, you're more than likely you're going to lose money. And that's what my course is all about. Is, you know, it's taken me a few years to figure it out, and I've probably put about 50 grand of my own money into it, of testing stuff to see what works. And I've come up with these 11 things that you have to do on eBay is for it to work. You know, to get the best chance of selling at a good price. You know, the idea is that you're the most expensive seller on the platform and still make sales. And then you can make a lot of money. But if you don't know what you're doing with selling, you're going to buy low and you're going to sell lower. And you're going to end up losing money. So, you know, if you know what you're doing on eBay, the sky's the limit. You know, there's no limit how much you can make. Craig says, when I get my house, I've got to build 2 roundabouts for drifting. Craig, I want to build... Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, Craig says, when I get my house, I should build 2 roundabouts on the property. Yes, I want to do something like that. I'd love to build a full circuit that goes around everywhere for drifting and racing and stuff. Need a lake on the property for boats, says Adam. Oh, man, I mean, it'd be great, but it's all money, isn't it? I mean, if I had like 10 million to spend on the property, then we could have it all. But, you know, we've got to compromise when we haven't got 10 million to spend on the property. Can you show the monster truck? Yes, all right, we'll show the monster truck and then we'll get going. I've been waffling on long enough now. We've been online for like nearly an hour and a half. Let's flip you around. We'll show you the monster truck, then we're going to get going. We're still waiting for this to get picked up. We need to get these wheels modified because they don't fit on the hubs. Oh, pardon me. So they're going to take that and that. Trouble is, a loader is supposed to come here, a lorry, semi, you Americans call it. It was supposed to turn up a couple of weeks ago to pick these tyres up and take them away and modify them. The trouble is, I've got no way of lifting them onto the truck. So I've bought a forklift. The forklift should be here this week, and then we can lift them on. And the forklift is going to live in there when that body is going to be moved. So we can, and the forklift's going to be handy anyway. You know, once we come to put the engine in, we need a forklift for that really. Engine crane's not really going to be tall enough unless I modify one. So a forklift's going to come in handy. There we go. We've got the column in. Still got to make the bracket for that. I'm just working on the seats at the moment to make it fit. These here are too wide apart, so I've got to narrow them in. We're going to raise the seats slightly by 1 inch because the seat belts don't fully line up properly at the back there. And I like sitting down low, but Tony says you want to be higher up so you can see better. Well, I prefer the low down driving position, but I think I'm too low. And I took 1 inch out of this padding as well to get me down in the seat a little bit lower. So I think I've got to raise the seat up by 1 inch because, and I've had to make these holes bigger here, look, where the seat belts come out, because I've got to weld a bar across here. So we've got 2 brackets on here. We've got to weld a bar across, and then the seat belt's going to go around them bars. But I really want it back further because Lexan goes on there. I want it as far back as possible so there's room for the buckles. So I want it really on this side. So we've got to have the belts above this part here. So we put the seat up an inch. Perfect. Happy days. Sit in it. Oh, I can't be bothered to climb up in there now. you got to climb up through that hole there, and then you sit there. I'll do it in another live stream. I'm just about to go home now. I've got the old seat belts fitted. Look, that's how we tighten ourselves up, is with a ratchet. That's how tight you got to run it in there. Let's go, Brandon. Someone says. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. That's brilliant. That sums up the media. It completely, not only sums up how corrupt the media is. Everybody hates Biden, and the media try to make out that everyone loves him. I cannot believe that the whole of America voted for Biden. I just cannot believe it. Jack says, how much did I pay for the forklift? Oh, I've got a good deal. I think £6,000 I paid for it in pounds. It's a 2.5 ton lift, container spec, which is good, so I can get it in underneath here. It's got the triple mast, so it lifts up quite high. I really need a telehandler, but I've got no space for a telehandler here, so when we get the land, we'll get some more toys. What's the monster truck called? Don't know yet, dude. Still looking for names. Tommy says he's a Birder forklift. £14 at Smith's. Gas or diesel? I've got a gas because diesel inside's going to stink. Are you renting it or did you buy it? I bought it. I mean, if you rent them... the trouble is, if you rent it, you rent it for long enough, you might as well buy the bloody thing. So I thought I might as well buy it. It's always going to be handy, isn't it? Oh, there's so many things I could have done with it in the past. So it's about time I got one. Why not? RC says America did not vote for Biden. I mean, I'm sure some people did, but no way. No way did that many people vote for him. No way. No way. I know a lot of people hate Trump, but I'm pretty sure a lot more people hate Biden. Pretty sure. Call it salt for the haters. I was going to call it the salt shaker, but no. I'm trying to get away from all that hater stuff, man. Me and Tomley used to be haters. Tomley done a video about that the other day, actually, and that pretty much sums it up. You know, we had our days of being haters. It's better just to get on with people. If someone really is being a douchebag, it's just better just to ignore them. That's one good thing that I learned from Jake Paul. He said the best advice, he said the best response to a hater is no response at all. And, you know, I don't agree with everything that Jake Paul does. I don't even enjoy watching his videos. But that is one thing he said that I could not agree more with. Best response to a hater, no response at all. Just ignore them. Yeah, Philip says Trump won. I mean, we never know for sure. But, you know, in my opinion, Trump should have won. I know he's got a lot of haters, but Biden's definitely got more. He must have. Biden must have more haters than Trump. He must have. Monster truck name, Bone Shaker. People ask me all the time if I like Trump. I don't know. I don't know him. Someone said Trump's a bell end. I don't know Trump, you know. I've seen good stuff and bad stuff about him. Who knows? We don't really know. I mean, they're all probably puppets, really, aren't they? We don't really know what's going on. Everyone thinks they know what's going on with politics, but no one really knows. And the thing is, you're wasting your time talking about it. You know, it's normally poor people that talk about politics because they haven't got any time left to talk about anything proper. You know, Trump's in, Biden's in, Bojo's in. You know, the same BS is going to happen no matter who's in. They're not in control. They're just a face for people to vent their anger at. But they're not really in charge. In my opinion. I might be wrong. Everything's only opinion, and everyone's got different opinions. Sly Dog says hi from California. Hello, dude. Alright, guys, I am done. I'm getting hungry. I need to make some food. So I will leave you guys to it, and I will see you in another live or another video soon. I'm going to try and get a video out for tomorrow, the drag slash. So thanks for stopping by. I'm sorry for boring you lot with slight politics and fractional reserve banking. But you guys asked, so I delivered. As always, it's just my opinion, and with opinions, they're a little bit like buttholes. Everyone's got one, and they all stink. Laters, guys.